everybody, and welcome to Crafty Clegg's Creations. My name is Jeanette Clegg, and today I'm coming to you from the northwest of England, where I live with my husband Timothy and our very sick Zach, our little dog. But I'll explain more to that at the end. Today is Saturday the something of January. I have no idea what the date is. It could be 12th, 11th, 12th, something like that. It's an extremely wet and windy, miserable January day. And today I'm doing something that I have never ever done before. I don't know why I've never ever done it before. Probably because I always thought the daytime was the best. But it is now early evening, it's very dark outside, and I'm recording a podcast. It's exactly 10 to 6. But we've been out visiting family today, this afternoon, and the day's just got away with me, and I really want to try and keep on top of my podcast this year. So I thought, I'm going to go upstairs, I'm going to set up my camera, probably not properly dressed for it, but that doesn't matter, we're all friends here, and you don't care, because I certainly don't. And I thought, I'll come along, and I'll show you what I've been up to, show you what I'm making, and tell you what I'm going to make. So grab yourself a coffee and a bit of knitting, a bit of crocheting, or even a bit of hand sewing. Get yourself comfy and we'll get going. Okay, so life update since I last spoke to you at the beginning of January. Well, if I'm honest, there's nothing at all to report as far as going out, enjoying myself, doing nice things, because it just hasn't been happening. The weather here since the beginning of the new year has been shocking. It has never stopped raining, it's been extremely windy, and it's been extremely cold. And so I've been indoors more or less all the time. We haven't even been out and had our normal, like Tim and I like to go and have a walk. We haven't even been out for a walk. I think we maybe have had one walk since the beginning of January. But I have kept myself busy, doing bits and pieces in my craft room. I've done a shop update this year, and I've just decided, well, yesterday, because it was wet and miserable again, I thought, you know what, I'm going to get in my craft room and I'm going to make some nice little pouches for my shop. So I've been making a lot of pouches, which I'll show you later on at the end in the shop update. And then other than that, that's it. This afternoon we've been to see our son and daughter-in-law and our two granddaughters, Gracie and Lola. And tomorrow I am going to my friend's Denise with my other friend, Susan. And Denise, Susan and I are going to have a long crafting day where we do nothing but drink coffee, chat and craft. To be fair, it's more crafting, it's more chatting, drinking coffee and swapping patterns, and maybe we might do a row or two of knitting. That's how it is. But hey, we have a lovely day, and it's the perfect weather to do that because there's nothing to do outdoors. So without further ado, let's get going, and I'll show you what I've finished or made since I last saw you just before Christmas, or just before here we go again, the mind's going, before Vlogmas. Right, so for those of you that are new around here, sorry, this is what you can expect. A load of rambling, me not knowing what I'm doing. I have terrible brain fog at the moment, so I can't hardly remember anything. And if that's your kind of thing, you were definitely in the right place. So yeah, and my podcast is mainly about knitting and crocheting. I do some sewing, but not very often, mainly for my shop. And yeah, I just ramble on and I share everything with you, my viewers. So yeah, if you're new to my channel, welcome. You are always very welcome here. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. And yeah, and that's it. We'll get on. Right, so what shall I show you first? I'm going to show you the thing that my husband's waiting for. I wouldn't let him wear this until I'd shown it on my podcast. So these are all finished items. So the first thing that I finished is a hat for my husband Timothy, and it's by Stephen West, and it's the Painting Honeycombs hat. There he is, lovely Stephen, with his jazzy hat on. And I made one of these for my husband. So I made it in Nothing Posh. It was in the Stylecraft Life DK. And there's the ball bands. Are you ready? I've actually got it finished. And here is his hat. Now, I must admit, when I first started making this hat for him, and this was the colourway he chose, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't very keen. But now it's finished, I don't mind, I quite like it. I think it looks quite nice. I imagined that he would have the blue as the main colour and then the speckled cream with like the little slubs in them as the honeycomb in between. But Tim being Tim likes things different. See, that's the back, because you can see the bit of a join there that's not very good. But when it's on, you'll never notice that. But yeah, Tim being Tim likes to be different, so he chose it this way. And when it got finished, I have to say, I quite like it. Shall I put it on? I don't know what it'll look like. I was going to take my glasses off, but I can't because I can't see you. Can you see? Can you tell I don't like... Oh, look at that. Hats do nothing for me, do they? But let me show you to the side. Isn't it lovely? I really do like this. It's a lovely pattern. It took 50 grams of each colour, and I have got enough to make another one the other way around, which I might do later on in the year, one for myself. But for now, I've had enough of doing that kind of pattern, because I also have the painted, whatever it's called, honeycomb shawl that I'm halfway through that I've still got to do. But as you all know, my motto for this year is no stress in 23, and I'm not. I'll do it when it suits me. But I had to do this for Tim because it's been going for a while, and I promised that I would. So yeah, hopefully. I'm hoping next week, because the weather is set to be quite dry next week, but very, very cold. So I'm hoping next week we might be able to get a day out, and he'll be able to wear his new hat. If he is, or if we can get out and he does wear it, I'll take some pictures for you. So that is my first finished item. And I have to say, now it's finished, I actually quite like it. So my next finished item, I'll stick with knitting. I'll do the knitting first. My next finished item is a sweater. And it is from, now I haven't got the picture. I will stick a picture in somewhere for you to have a look. It is the Anchor sweater. And who's it by? I should know, shouldn't I? Bear with me. Not very organised. I've just sort of thrown this podcast together for you at the moment. Oh, here we go. Let's have a see. It's by Petite Knits. So it's called the Anchor Sweater by Petite Knits. And they do it right down from little baby right up to adults. And this is my version of it. It is the Anchor Sweater. Isn't it lovely? And I hear y'all saying, oh, are we having a baby in the family? Have we got a friend who's having a baby? No, we haven't. I haven't got any grandchildren. Oh, look at that, isn't it lovely? Yeah, I digress. I haven't got any grandchildren from my own blood. I love my grandchildren, all of them, and none of them are any different. But my daughter or my son haven't had children of their own yet. But they're hoping to one day. And well, what can I say? When I was poorly a few years ago, I had breast cancer a few years ago, and I had this morbid fear that if anything happened to me, none of my grandchildren would ever have anything that was knitted by Granny. So I decided to start a box that I store under the bed. I know, it's hilarious. And I have actually shown you through the box under the bed. And I just every now and then knit something baby, and I store it, I wrap it in tissue, and I have a special box under the bed with lavender in so nothing gets spoiled. So that if ever they do have children and I'm not around, then they've got a hand knit from Granny. And so this is for the box under the bed. So this is, I think this is 3 to 6 months. Really, really easy knit. It was when I sussed out the pattern. For some reason, I don't know why, and it's probably because I don't do that much knitting anymore. But for some reason, I really struggled for the decrease, for doing the raglan. I couldn't get my head round. I just couldn't understand the pattern. I just could not get my head round it. And I asked my daughter-in-law, I asked Susan, my friend, I looked at it on YouTube to see if there was any tutorials. Anyway, I just put it down because it was getting me all frustrated. So I put it down, put it in the naughty corner. A couple of days later, I thought, I'll just get that sweater out and see if I can suss it out. And all of a sudden, it was like a light bulb moment, and I remembered what I was doing. It's crazy, isn't it? Crazy how the mind works. So this is my Anchor sweater by Petite Knits. And it was done, and it just took 100 gram ball using the King Cole Little Treasures. Never used this before. Really, really nice yarn. And the colourway is Crystal, and the shade is 4781, just in case anybody is interested. I will leave all links down below of the patterns that I've used so you can get hold of them, do you wish to make them yourself. So that is my second knit. I keep showing it, but I love it. You can just imagine a little babby in that, can't you? Oh, I love it. So yeah, that's my second finished item of knitting. I have got one item of hand sewing that I will show you. It's been going for some time, this. Unfortunately, I haven't got the pattern with me and I can't find it anywhere. I have got it, obviously, but my craft room is just such a mess. And so I don't know where I've stored it. So I will leave the link to the pattern in the description box below for you. My son and daughter-in-law bought me this last Christmas as my Christmas gift. And like you do when you get something new, got it out, cut it out, started sewing it up. So something else caught my eye, I left it, and that was it. Anyway, I decided, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Things need to get finished. So I picked it up over Christmas and I finished it. And it is my teddy bear. I have put a picture on my Instagram feed. Let me get a bit closer because that might be a nice thumbnail. It's funny how you have to pause because thumbnails, you have to take pictures. Anyway, you don't need to know all that. Anyway, so this is Charlotte. She is my kit that my daughter-in-law and son bought me. Was she easy to do? Yes, she wasn't difficult. The only thing I thought I was going to struggle with was the pads, and I was so wrong. It's a very fiddly thing to make because it's all done by hand. So the stitches are very small to make sure, obviously, they keep nice and secure. And you use cotter pins because she's got jointed legs and jointed arms. So they was difficult to put in. I'll be honest with you, if I hadn't have had Tim here to help me put the cotter pins in, I think I would have struggled. Because it's so fiddly. Well, I shouldn't say I would have struggled. I would have persevered and done it, but it wasn't an easy thing to do to put the cotter pins in. But yes, I'm absolutely thrilled with this. I was thinking of a name for her, but it was Tim that pointed out that she's actually called Charlotte on her pattern. So that's what I've stuck with, Charlotte. And I have decided that I'm going to put this in my baby box under the bed as well. I am going to make another one for myself, but I need to send off for some mohair because that's what it's made out of, this. It's mohair. I think it's mohair. And suede. This little bit in the pad is suede. But look at that little face. Oh, isn't it adorable? It's a little bit lopsided, but it don't matter because that's what I like. It gives it some character. So yeah, that is my first and last handmade item that I've finished, but I'm slowly getting through things that need to be finished. So yeah, isn't that beautiful? I really, really was pleased with that. So that's going in the box under the bed. So that's the only handmade item that I've finished. I'm just going to pause for 1 minute. I'll be back. Sorry about that. I was having a really hot flush, so I had to take my neckerchief off and have a bit of a cool down for a minute. So I'm back now. Right, so on to my last two finished items, and they're both crocheted. So I made this between, although did I start it? I'm not sure when I started it. I think I must have started it at Christmas time, because why would you not do this any other time than Christmas? And again, I haven't got a picture. And I cannot tell you who it's by because, well, I'm not even going to try. But this is who it's by. And again, I will put all these details in the description box below. And I will put a picture in somewhere around here so you can see the actual pattern. But here is my finished Grinch. Oh, I absolutely loved making this. I don't know why more than anything that I've made for Christmas that I enjoy, but this was the most enjoyable little crocheted item I've made for a long time. As you can imagine, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? Sheepy's Katona. I made it all out of that in pea green, red and white. And then I embroidered his little, can you see, his little face. He's got a little hat and scarf, which is all removable. You can take it off. In the arms is wire, so you can bend his arms whichever way you want to. But this was the thing that tickled me more than anything. Well, it just tickled me. Are you ready for this? And he's got the most adorable, cute little butt. Isn't that? Oh, I love it. I cannot tell you how that tickled me when I was doing it. Even Tim said, oh, that's brilliant. So the Grinch has got a cute little butt. I absolutely love it. Like I said, really easy to make. Did it over a couple of nights. The one thing that took me quite a long time, believe it or not, was all this round the edge of his hat. I mean, I'm not going to go into any detail because it's a paid for pattern and I don't want to give anything away. But that took me a good part of half the night just to do this round here and a bauble on the end of the hat here. So yeah, this is my Grinch. And I did think about putting him away with all my other Christmassy makes. But you know what? I love him that much. He's going to stay out. So that is another finished item that I did just before Christmas and I think a couple of days after. The Grinch, and I love him. Even the detail in his eyes. Look at the detail in his, can you see if I get out of focus? Look at the little bits of yellow in his eye there. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. So yeah, so that was my Grinch. And then again, I did put a picture of this on my Instagram page, which I'm sure everybody, well, if you follow me on Instagram, if you want to follow me on Instagram, by the way, you can do. I will leave a link for that down below. And if you press on the link, it'll take you straight to my page. But not everybody does Instagram. So I will show it to you. This is a free pattern and I got the idea from this off lovely Steph from the Crafty Dragonfly. I think Steph made it a couple of years ago. I've been following Steph now on YouTube and Instagram for, maybe two years. And, I saw her make this and I just thought I'll have to have a go at that. But at the time, I think we was having a difficult Christmas, Tim and I. I'm not sure whether that's when he was quite poorly, so I never got round to it. But I downloaded the pattern and this is Noel the Christmas Mouse. It's a free pattern. It's a fabulous pattern. And again, I'll leave the link for you down below. It's a free pattern and it's a little mouse. Now, I know these things that I'm showing you, probably nobody wants to make at the beginning of January. But because I did Vlogmas and then the first video I did was all about my toft, I didn't get round to showing you these. But sometimes it's nice to do things when it's not that season and you can do them and put them away and then they're ready, can't you? Anyway, so here is my little Noel the mouse. I'm not going to show you what yarn I've done it in because you're going to guess. Sheepy's Katona. And again, this was a really, really nice make. His hat comes off, so if you want him without his hat on, you can. He's even cute without his hat. Got a cute little tail at the back here. And again, really nice, easy pattern. Oh, let me just get his hat on properly for you. Really nice, easy pattern to make. Very enjoyable. Couple of nights, that's it. And I don't really know what else I can say about that other than it's cute as a button. Everybody loved it. And yeah, and best of all, it's a free pattern. I'm absolutely blown away by these patterns that we can get that's free, because, you know, people have to put them together, and it's a well put together pattern. There's some really nice illustrations. I mean, look at that picture. That's beautiful. So yeah, that is my last finished item, and it is Noel the mouse. Oh, how adorable. And again, I don't think I'm putting him away. I think I'm going to keep him out. Oh, love him. So yeah, I was quite busy making all sorts of little bits and pieces throughout Christmas and after Christmas, and yeah, some nice things. So that's all my finished items. And you're not going to believe this, but I've got one thing to show you that I'm actually working on. I've got a couple of things that I'm working on, but I don't want to show them yet because I want them to be finished, especially one of them. And I'm trying. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not putting myself under any pressure because 2023 is pressure free. But I am going to try and do more videos, mainly because I enjoy them. And it does spur me on to get things finished. So I have got one thing that is almost finished, but not quite. But I'm going to save that till next week. So the one thing that I'm going to show you now is another hat that I'm making for Timothy. And again, I haven't got the pattern because it's on my iPad, so I will put pictures in for you. I can't remember if this is a paid for pattern or not. And again, I'll leave the information for you down below, so if you do want to make it, you can. I've got it in my Hurdy bag. I love these bags that I make. I'm going to get some more of this material very soon and put some more of these in my shop, I think, because people love these. They always sell out really, really quick. And last time I made one lot, I thought, I need to make one of these for myself because this bag is just me. I mean, I know I'm dressed in black today, but anybody that knows me well knows I love colour. Colour is my thing. And this bag just, oh, it makes me so happy. I know that sounds silly, doesn't it? That colours can make you feel like that. But it does. It makes me feel really happy, this bag. Anyway, in this bag is the hat that I'm making for Tim at the moment. Again, I don't know what it's called. Got no pattern in here. I don't know nothing. But I will leave all the information for you. I'll put it down here and all the rest. Blah, blah, blah. You know, don't you? But I am making, you'll be surprised at this, because I am making it from Drops Charisma. I am not using a sheepy's yarn. This is Drops Charisma. It is, I think it's 100% wool, this. Yeah, content 100% wool. And it's a lovely, lovely yarn and so affordable. I was so shocked. When I bought this, let me just show you. I've got the others over here. When I bought this, I thought, I'm going to get one for me. So this is Tim. Let me show. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, aren't I? Let me show you Tim's first. So Tim has chosen. This is the hat I have just finished doing. Can you see? I've just finished. Let me put my head down there. Doing the rib. Oh, God, this ribbing took me forever. It needed to be... I think it was, oh, I don't know, is it 9.5 centimetres or 3.5 inch? Oh, I can't remember, but it's a long, long rib, as you can see. And I've just started on the colour work. So his is the, it doesn't say what colour it is, it just says colour 83. And the contrast colour is 77. And like I say, it's done in both the same, and this is how far I've got. I'm hoping to get this finished. It's our wedding anniversary on the 6th of February, and I'm hoping to put this amongst his gifts for his anniversary. And that's really all I've got to show you. But when you see the picture... Oh, I need to show you the other yarn, don't I? This is the other colour. So this is the contrast colour. It's like, I don't know, it's like a very, very light mushroomy colour. It's a little bit bright on the camera compared to what it looks like in real life. And that actually looks a little bit darker. But I think once it's finished, it'll be quite nice. So I'm doing that for Tim. I'm doing them on the Chiago, and this is the ones that I'm doing that these are on now is the 3.5, but I had to do the ribbon in the 3.25, and I'm using, like I say, Chiago. I love these needles, absolutely love these. My aim this year is to get a few more pair of these. I'm a few sizes short in the Chiago needles. I'll just leave that there because my yarn's all over the floor. But when I was buying that yarn, because it was so reasonable, I could not believe how much a 50-gram ball of yarn was. I think it was something like £3.10p for 100 gram, for a 50 gram of 100% wool. So I decided that I'd do one as well. So I'm doing mine in like this. It's like a, take it out of the bag, that might be better for you, mightn't it? It's like a slaty blue and cream. So that's going to be my colour when I've finished. When I finish this, I'm going to cast on mine straight away because the ribbon takes forever. Took me about 4 nights to do that. It just seemed to go on forever and ever and ever. But I spoke to my daughter-in-law today, and she said to me, as soon as you start the colour work, she said, you just whiz by it. So yeah, that is. And another thing that's downstairs that I want to show you next time is all I've got on the go at the moment. I have been busy doing lots of, like I say, pouches. But the other thing, excuse me, during Vlogmas, we went over to visit Catherine. My daughter-in-law is called Catherine, and she's an avid knitter and crocheter. And she had a huge blanket over one of the sofas in the conservatory when I showed you her Christmas tree, and it was a corner to corner blanket, and it was done in squares, and then you join all the squares together, and I think it's 9 patches, so it's 9 squares, and then at the bottom it is, I think it says Merry Xmas and Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, something like that, I'm not really sure. And it's a free pattern from Repeat Crafty Me. And again, I will leave the link for you down below. And everybody said how lovely it was. So I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try and make a square, maybe one a month, and try and put one together for Christmas. So I've been out and I bought the yarn for the first blanket, or the first square for the blanket. And here's the colours. It is red, slate grey and white. And there's a little bit of black, but I already had some black, so I weren't, because that's literally 2 little squares just for his eyes, so I wasn't buying a full ball for that. And I'm using the Stylecraft Special Aran, which again is really, really affordable. So yeah, watch this space. That's for my first square, which is a Santa Claus head. But then, like I say, we've been visiting today, my daughter-in-law, and she says to me, oh, I've got loads of bits and pieces left over for when I did mine. I'll go and get it. I've got a big bag of it. So she gave me all these spare bits. So it might be quite a cheap blanket for me because she's given me all the spare bits of Aran. And it's all the same. It's all Stylecraft Aran. So, you know, I am a bit of a glutton for right yarns, right colours and stuff like that. So really, that's all I've got to show you up to now. I have got a little shop update, but I'll do that in a minute. But I shall just fill you in on what's happened this week. I have got my trusty little dog down here, and I will take a picture of him after and show it to you. But last Friday, Tim and I went to bed. The dog was perfectly fine. Got up Saturday morning. Oh, he was not fine. He could hardly walk. He couldn't get up or down the stairs. He just overnight seemed to deteriorate. Now, our dog has epileptic fits, so we wondered if he'd had a fit in the night. Anyway, we rang the vets, and the vet said, I mean, I am a bit of a glutton for my animals. I love them to bits and they're part of the family. And I like Zach to be seen to by the same vet because he's had the same vet all his life, apart from when we lived in the States. Anyway, I spoke to the vet, which happens to be a friend of Tim's, so it was easier to speak to him. And he said as long as he's not in any pain and he's eating and going to the bathroom, and then that's fine. Anyway, we left him all weekend and he was very lethargic, slept a lot, but was still eating, still going to the bathroom. So we nipped to the vet's on Monday and he said, yeah, he's not right. We don't know what it is, so we'll do some tests. So he's had 2 lots of blood tests and he's had urine samples done, and there is something amiss with his liver function. They don't know what. They still don't know what's up with him. He's got to have, well, I don't know how many more tests. But he's very lethargic. He's sleeping all day and all night. But he seems happy in himself. Now, our dog is 15. So he's an old dog. And Paul, the vet, has said to us, you have to take this into consideration. And then towards the end of the week, we went for a walk and he was passing blood with his stools. So it's not looking very good. And I don't really want to get too much into it because I don't want to end on a miserable note, because he's had a good life and he is here with me. So the vet said to leave him over the weekend again and see how he's doing. Now, he seems quite happy in himself. So, you know, we're just going to see how he gets on. Oh, he's on puppy pads at the moment because he keeps having little bits of accidents. So that's, I don't really want to go into any more because there's nothing else for me to tell you other than poor Zach is not well. And you know, he's been a big part of the channel because you see pictures of him and I talk to you about him, and I just wanted to really keep you informed. But yes, of course, if, I will keep you informed with any progress that happens with him. So yeah, the next thing I'm going to do is just show you my little shop update, which these things are not in the shop yet, but I am hoping by the time this gets up, I will have managed to get them in the shop. If not, they will all be in the shop by Sunday evening. It's Saturday today, so Sunday, like I said, I don't know the date. I think it's 13th. Is it Friday the 12th? It's either the 12th or the 13th, I'm not sure. But I will put a thing on the screen here and let you know when they're going to be in the shop. But if you're not interested in that, I'll say good night to you now. Thank you very, very much for watching, and hopefully I will be back this time next week and fill you in with the week's crafting and our little life update. So thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It does help my little channel grow. And until next time, have a nice weekend and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Bye. Okay, so I'm going to very, very quickly go through what I've got to put in my shop. I haven't made any bags this week. They're all little notions pouches because, I just fancied, I don't know why I had this thing for notion pouches, and I had some Tilda fabric that was too big to throw away but not big enough to make bags. So I thought, well, I will do some patchwork and we'll make some notion pouches. So here is the first one. This is the reddish and pinkish one. And I've put just a little tiny zipper pull there, and it's on a carabiner, so you can use it as a stitch marker or progress keeper if you like. And it's little Betty Boo. Don't know if you can see her, is she focusing? So that's the front, and then that's the back. Oh, I do love Tilda fabric. Absolutely love it. I have to say, Tilda and Liberty are one of my favourite, well, the two of my favourite fabrics. If I could afford it, I'd have them all the time. Then here is another one. This is, this was from last year, this, with the, I call it the ladies, I don't know what it is. This one's got a blue Betty Boo on. And then on the back, we've just got, this is what they call tea towel fabric. And then some, that's from way back then, and it's just lined with a white on white. I forgot to tell you what this was lined with, didn't I? What's this lined with? That's lined with like a cream with coffee writing on it. Coffee coloured writing, I should say. Then we've got another one here with the ladies on again, and this one's got, what colour is she? Bear with me. Another red Betty Boo. All these ladies. And then on the back is a little piece of quilted rainy day or windy days or something like that. I think it was rainy day. And that one has got a white on white. Nice one, that. Oh, now these, I love this I absolutely love this fabric. It's a Japanese fabric, and I just love it. And these are hand quilted. I did use, I did hand quilt these because I don't know, I just fancied a little bit of hand quilting. So this is Sophie and Margaret fabric, and all these here is all hand stitched. And I just thought I'd put some decorative buttons on, and you've got a little apple there. And then on the back is just a plain linen fabric with, what's in, oh, look at this. How pretty is that, with tiny little love hearts. So that's the Sophie, the Margaret and Sophie one. So that's one. So that's the pink version. And then I'll show them you together so you can see. So that's a pink version, and then that's the red version. So that's the pink one, and then this is the red one. And again, it's the same, hand quilted, with some decorative buttons here, here and here. And you've got a little apple as a zipper pull. And I think it's the same, yeah, the same fabric there with the little love hearts on. Oh, now this is one of my favourite fabrics. Again, Tilda. Oh, let's put that round there. And it's the bear under the tree. And another Betty Boo. And that's the back. And inside, we've got the cream. Let me just show you. The cream with the coffee coloured writing. And then you've got just a little lavender pouch. Nice to match. Then there's a couple more. I made another one of these. These sold out as soon as I put them in last time. This is my favourite place in the world. As you all, well, you might not, but some of you might know. My favourite place in the world is where my daughter lives, in Somerset, and it's Catherine Hill in Frome. And this is where I buy a lot of my fabric from, Millie Moon on Catherine Hill. So that's another Notions pouch. That's a bigger one, and that's lined with a cream with navy alphabet. And then finally, oh, again, I love this. Squirrel pouch. Now this is a lot bigger than the others, so this would be a good size for socks. This is a good size for a sock bag actually, and that's lined with the cream and coffee coloured writing. But you'd easily get a pair of socks in there. I think it's about 8 by 8. And finally, Tim has been out in his workshop again doing designs, and he's come up, I love this, with these yarn samples. So we're going to sell them in sets of 5 on a ring like this. Now these might not be in the shop until next week. I'm not really 100% sure when them will be in. And he's got writing on them. He's not sure whether to keep this writing here or leave it blank in case you want to put the colour of your yarn on. But then I did suggest, well, that would be pointless, because if you're wrapping your yarn around here, then what would be the point? So yeah, these might need a little bit of tweaking yet, but there they are. And they're going to be in sets of 5. And they'll come on a little ring. And they're more for photograph opportunities, or keeping, they're like if you're doing a blanket and you wrap samples of your yarn around, and you can keep the name of the colour on. But yeah, that's what they're for. So that's it for my little shop update this week. There's no bags, I'm afraid, but I have got, you know, plans to just keep updating every now and then. Because like I said, the weather's so bad, I just keep nipping in here, making a few things, putting them in the shop. So if there is anything you ever need, just check out my shop and have a little look. So again, I shall say goodbye. Thank you very much for watching. And don't forget, again, please do press that like and subscribe button, as it does help my little channel grow. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week. Take care now. Bye.